How many of you have ever organized a group of people, say, like a study group or an English club, or even a party? Not easy, right? Lots of variables, huh? Well, today we're going to examine the three main challenges of leading an international business meeting. And they are: 1, managing time; 2, managing people; and 3, managing resources. Let's start with the most basic one: time. In business, there's the expression, time is money. Has everyone heard that before? Time is money? Well, we can apply this idea to our discussion about business meetings. Every minute spent in a meeting needs to be used well. As the American car maker Henry Ford said, "It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste." He means time is valuable. If we want to make progress, we have to use it well. As the meeting manager, you can manage time by following one simple rule: create an agenda and stick to it. Sounds easy, huh? Well, no. When working with an international mix of people, this isn't easy. Americans, for example, are known for being prompt. Other cultures, Southern Europeans and Latin Americans, for example, have a less formal approach to time. It's your responsibility as meeting manager to make the rules. For example, if someone is talking on and on and on, you've got to bring the group back to the agenda. I call this staying on task. By managing the clock throughout the meeting, you'll show everyone that you respect their time. Okay, next let's look at the people aspect of running an international meeting. Does everyone remember the concepts of high and low context communication? Good. Well, as a meeting manager, it's very important that you recognize who among the meeting participants are high context communicators and who are low context communicators. Why? Because on the one hand, you're going to have some members, say your North American business people, wanting to get straight to work the minute the meeting starts. Their laptops or whatever are out, and they're ready to talk business. On the other hand, other members, say your South American and Vietnamese or Thai business people, may want to spend a little time getting to know each other first. You know, sipping their coffee and chit-chatting and making small talk. Both approaches are fine. It's up to you to manage these differences. How? Well, let's look for the answer in another challenge of managing people. This challenge relates to managing dynamics. That's DYNAMICS. This is the energy created when people interact. We can start with seating. You want to arrange the room in a way that maximizes the energy, maximizes discussion. This may mean you divide friends and put strangers together. Round tables are good for improving eye contact and for discussion. However, be careful how many people you put in an area. Different cultures like different amounts of personal space. For example, most Americans like about 18 inches of space around them. Any closer and they're likely to move back away from the group. Not productive. So returning to our high-low context example, can you see a solution? Maybe you seat your participants around the table with plenty of space, mixing the high and low context communicators and mixing the personalities to balance the group energy. The bottom line about managing people is you've got to first understand the cultural differences. As they say in the business world, know your customer. Then balance those dynamics. Last note on this one, if you want to take it a step further, educate your participants at the very start of the meeting with a quick icebreaker or warm-up activity that reminds everyone to respect each other's cultures. All right, our last challenge is managing meeting resources. Gee, how many of us have been in a meeting where the presenter's microphone sounds like a 1930s radio broadcast, right? Or the projector is so far from the screen that you can barely read the slides? It's your responsibility to provide the resources and support that will make the meeting successful. Like what? Well, you should have an LCD projector and a laptop with all the usual business software. You'll also need a microphone and a media system that works. And don't forget the value of an old-fashioned flip chart or a dry erase board and markers. And if you're organizing a virtual meeting, you'll need teleconferencing or video conferencing technology. And finally, super important note here. Test out everything yourself before the meeting to be sure everything is a go. Now remember that some participants may not have used newer technologies before, and that's where the support comes in. You need a techie who can fix anything that goes wrong. Never be afraid to ask for help. Let me conclude with this. Meet the challenges of managing time, people, and technology, and you'll be rewarded with a successful international business meeting. And success, as they say in business, is the bottom line.